Happy New Year and welcome to Henny Penny Homestead. I had been planning for some time to roll over and start doing a YouTube channel because, all the different platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, really, it's too much to keep up with. But I find that the YouTube seems to be probably where I would want to put most of my content. There is no easy way to do this. It's just like, from everything I've read, it's just like you just jump off the cliff. So I'm jumping. The funny thing is that, I was thinking about when I created Henny Penny Homestead, it was created out of a situation where I had lost my job. I had gotten laid off after, 25 plus years in the medical field. And I was devastated. I had never lost a job. I always worked. And I just didn't know what to do with myself. So I created Henny Penny Homestead and was attempting to sell starter plants, vegetable plants and stuff in the spring. It was a learning experience. I think I certainly could be successful if the circumstances were a little different. However, I did learn a lot. But I decided, you know what, I like Henny Penny's Homestead. And I thought, let me see if I can't turn this into a channel that may be helpful for other folks that, are kind of like me, just your average Joe, nobody, setting the world on fire with all kinds of crazy content or anything like that. But just some sustainable living practices and, kind of living more of a simple life. The funny thing is with Henny Penny, if you don't know the childhood story, Henny Penny had an acorn that fell out of a tree and hit her in the top of the head. Well, needless to say, her and a multitude of other animals along the way joined her on this journey to go tell the king that the sky was falling. Anyway, it was a childhood story. But the moral to the story is, and I printed this out this morning, it says, when an acorn falls on Henny Penny's head, she's convinced the sky is falling. Join Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, and their feathered friends as they rush to tell the king about this terrible disaster. But is everything really as it seems? The timeless tale teaches children the importance of thinking carefully before believing everything that they hear. A lesson that's just as valuable today as it was generations ago. And what I like about that is my life has kind of been one series of Henny Penny disasters after another. Like there's always drama, and it was just funny that when it came to me, I didn't really realize it until I really started thinking about it. And I was like, oh, this really suits me, because if you were to know me, if it's going to happen, it will definitely happen to me. So welcome to Henny Penny Homestead. So that's the kind of backstory. I would have launched this a little bit sooner. I had planned on doing it during Christmas, where I had 5-day downtime. And unfortunately, my husband and I both ended up with the flu. Wasn't good, I can tell you that. I'm grateful that we are pretty healthy individuals. We're not on any medications or anything. And we were able to get through it, but it was a doozy. So for all you folks out there that are struggling with the flu, I feel you. Believe you me, it was definitely not a good time. Okay, that being said, I am going to start this new year off because Canuary instead of January, canning in January is a big thing. So today I'm going to show you, I went through my freezer because I know that in the spring, in a few months, I'm going to be getting a half a steer, and a half a pig. So I'm going through rotating and dwindling down, seeing where I'm at, and figuring out, is there anything I need to can or go through before I refill my freezers. So one of the things I do throughout the year is I take all of my cuttings from onions, even the wrapper from the onions, garlic scapes, carrots, celery, herbs, all kinds of things that I have basically stuffed in freezer bags, as you can see. Stuffed in freezer bags. This is like shredded up carrots. And I just, throughout the summer and fall, I just, instead of putting that in the compost, I put this stuff in freezer bags to make my vegetable broth. Now, what you don't want to put in here is your greens, like, you know, kale and that kind of stuff, because it will not give it a good flavor. But any of your herbs, carrots, onions, garlic skins, garlic that maybe it's not, it was a little past its prime, it's still perfectly fine to make a broth out of it, because you're going to strain it all out anyway once it's done. I also had a chunk of leftover like roasted tomatoes. I threw that in here. So you can see this is, you know, all of my frozen goods and scraps, and this will get covered over with water, and this will make a really nice batch of vegetable broth. So I will come back to this when this is finished and you can see the final product. But during January, I will be doing a series of different things to show you the kind of stuff that I can for us this time of year. It's basically just using up what I haven't had a chance to use throughout the season in the freezer, and make some good stuff to put on the shelf. So that being said, I'm going to cover this over with water, and I will be back later with some more hot tips. All right, it's the end of the evening, and we are pulling my vegetable broth. It's a nice, beautiful color. So while he's pulling the rest of those, I had decided to do a second batch. So that will get canned up tomorrow. But a very, you know, thrifty way to make all your own vegetable broth, which is great for stews and soups and, you know, lots of stuff. So here is our final product. Yay. Well, it's 7 o'clock. It's the witching hour for us because, you know, 3 a.m. comes early. So I'm off to bed, and I will check back soon. Night.